Hey there, fellow citizen of the internet. My name is Moses, and this is the Moses Kabandana Podcast. I try to have conversations on here that are worth having, that I think are worth having. And today I don't have a particular guest that is an expert in a particular field. I simply want to talk to you about spontaneity. The ability to do things spontaneously. That's an interesting word. But more specifically when it comes to traveling. So let me give you an example here quick. 2019, I was perusing around the internet. Oh, and by the way, if you're watching this, you know that I'm inside of Bertha, my RV. And so if you hear some noise with cars going by or some honkings, that would be the reason. Anyways, 2019, I am perusing around the internet and I see an advertisement for a round trip ticket from Los Angeles to Paris and back. And I didn't even think twice. I didn't think like, wait, where am I going to stay? Do I have people? Do I have things that I want to see there? No, it's $250 from LA to Paris and back. There's no more to it. I think it was actually like $236. So I got the ticket and then booked an Airbnb, and long before you know it, I was in Paris for I believe a week or a week and a half, and I just did life there. And between buying the ticket and getting there, I hopped onto Duolingo trying to get a little French going. It did not help. And so that was 2019. So now in 2023, so in the last 365 days, my woman and I, we've been to Rwanda, Uganda, Mozambique, Morocco, Spain, Italy. We're currently in Lisbon, Portugal. Of course, we've been to the States. And not all of those trips were spontaneous, but some of them were spontaneous, or once we were in particular, for example, like right now, where we are right now, I think it's called like Boca di something. It's like 45 minutes outside of Lisbon. And the decision to come here just happened completely spontaneous. Sylvia suggested, she's like, hey, it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday, let's go out to this place that I've wanted to take you to. So we're here. There wasn't too much back and forth. There wasn't too much it was not to think about the details of a trip. It does not paralyze us. But it wasn't always this way. Right? At least for me, right? In some areas of my life, it's still that way. But when it comes to traveling, the fear of the unknown no longer paralyzes me. So here's what I mean. So you might be the person that when it comes to international traveling, you're thinking, oh my goodness, wow, I don't know anybody there. I don't really know the language. I don't know. And do I contact a traveling agency? Do I do this? What are the visa requirements? And that alone can just paralyze you from even making that first step. And for us, when it comes to traveling, no longer is. In other areas of my life, I'm not really as spontaneous as I am when it comes to traveling. So it is important for me to continue to be spontaneous when it comes to traveling, because sometimes the familiarity of dealing with the unknown kind of crosses over into other areas of my life, where I'm like, okay, well, I'll be spontaneous in this part of my life, even though I'm typically not. So that's simply to say, if you're the traveling type, if you've been thinking about traveling, and it does not have to be a long international trip. It can simply be traveling down to like saying, okay, 3 weeks from now, 3 Saturdays from now, I'm going to clear that Saturday and I'm going to travel 50 miles away from my crib, away from my home, away from my city. And just when that third Saturday comes around, you already have your bags prepped, or you already have your whatever it is that you need to get there, and you just go. So the power of spontaneity when it comes to traveling has literally taught me to kind of being okay with not being in control, and it can be scary. It can be certainly scary if you're the type that needs certainty. Like, you need to know what's gonna happen, when, and why. Being spontaneous kind of messes around with that, and there's a sea of lessons to be learned each time that you confront the unknown. And in the 2019 example, it would be, well, I don't really speak the language. I don't really know where I'm going to stay. I'm financially not in a place where I can stay in Paris, so I know it's gotta be outside of Paris. But like, if it's outside of Paris, like that, what does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna get an Airbnb. That rhymed. What does it mean? Airbnb? Kind of rhymed. But over time, being okay with just, hey, I'm gonna buy a ticket. I know that I can get there. We'll worry about the rest as the time gets closer, or we'll worry about the specifics of where we're gonna go, what we're gonna see. That is gonna come when we get there. And like I said, I don't necessarily, for some reason, apply this logic or this confrontation of the unknown, or like being okay with not knowing what's coming. I don't necessarily apply that in all areas of my life, but it is a lesson that I can try to apply in other areas of my life. So right now, we're towards the end of May, and last month I embarked into the path of pursuing aviation. I just want to be a private pilot. That's it. It is a skill set that I feel like everybody should go for. And aside from the fact that I've always wanted to learn how to fly. But there's just so much fear there. Like, yeah, man, going from like a normal plane, of like 300 people to 100 people that you can fit in there, to just a 2-seater plane is like, my goodness, a little air blowing this thing all over the place, and we're done for. It feels like, to me, there's not much control in there, but there is, and being okay with saying, okay, there's a lot that I don't know about this area, but I kind of want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I don't know what all that lies beyond the private pilot. But now, in the last month that I've been doing it and going to a discovery flight, which is the very first flight that you get on, and just to feel what general aviation is on a small airplane. After that, I was pumped. I was like, okay, this is good. I've been here before, where I'm afraid of something, I try it, and then I come out on the other side. I've been here before, and just being hit with the fear that I'm about to get on a 2-seater, and I don't even know if I'm gonna pursue this. Do I pursue this aviation thing as a career? Do I just get my private pilot's license? Do I get an instrument rated? Do I get the commercial? All these questions are starting to arise in my head right now as I'm going through this aviation ground school, the knowledge part of it. But I'm like, okay, I don't know, and I'm hella afraid of taking this step, financially and otherwise. But I'm like, well, I've been here before, where I don't know what's coming, I don't know all the specifics, but I know I'm gonna come out all right on the other side. So you're probably listening to this on a Monday. I'm gonna release this on a Monday. If you are, or whatever day of the week that you're listening to, I want you to take this with you a little bit. Being okay, or at the very least, understanding that the fear of the unknown is huge. It carries a lot of power in us, and it is real. But you will be okay on the other side. Well, most likely. Anyways, you listen to this from a fellow schmuck. I'm not necessarily an expert in a particular field. I just think about a thing that I want to do and put my best foot forward and see what lies on the other side. And hopefully you too can carry the rest of your week with that mentality, if you can. If you can't, well, c'est la vie. It is what it is. My name is Moses. You've been listening to the Moses Kabandana Podcast. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.